Hey guys, and yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is not Pony Fantasy 6. In fact, what the crap is this, really? Okay, so this is me doing what might be stupid again, but I'm going completely blind into another Let's Play. That happens to be a Half-Life 2 mod. Not that the Dear Esther started that way, but anyways. This is the Stanley Parable, and I have no idea what kind of game it is. I don't know anything about it, and apparently that's the way it's supposed to work, is you're not supposed to know anything about it before you go into this thing. So apparently I'm doing it right. So we're gonna just go for it, I guess. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got a loading screen. Alright. Loading screen. Here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Cool.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Sure.
And then one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Oh, I guess I am Stanley. Cool. Okay, so I am on the keyboard and mouse this time. My controller is not plugged in, and I'm not sure it works anyways on this thing, because it's... Ooh. So.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself, and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Yeah, the music just turned off. Yeah, so... Did I pick up another horror game? Or another horror light game? Am I gonna have trouble sleeping again tonight, like I did after Dear Esther?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hahaha, nope.
This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
I am not following directions. I'm gonna get myself killed, aren't I?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Screw you, guy.
Maybe this is why everyone had left. No one wanted to be around someone as bad at listening as him. And since he was walking into the middle of nowhere and thus ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself. So when he came to the elevator and the doors opened, he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
Well. Haven't started listening so far. May as well keep going. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, Stanley. You know, you really aren't going anywhere, and I don't say that deceitfully. I truthfully mean that there isn't a story down here. The story was back up where I told you to go in the first place. Right now, you're just running around looking at empty halls. And frankly, that's perhaps even more infuriating for me. So why don't you throw me a bone, give me a chance, and just let me tell the story I want to tell,
Well, I like hearing you get annoyed. Because you have that kind of voice that, you know, does condescension very well. And... Oh.
Now listen carefully. This is important.
Huh.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Red, blue, red. I'm gonna go with blue. I like blue.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, screw you, guy. I'm going through the blue. Do what I want. That's the...
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Alright, look, dude. I'm not listening to you. Ooh, this is the blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Huh?
You see? It's nothing. No one's even built this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Ooh, I broke the game.
It's just a bunch of skybox and dev wall textures. That's it. Is this what you were looking for? Was it worth ruining the story I'd written out for you?
Yep.
I put a lot of time into that, and now you... Well, here you are now, just looking at nothing.
But it pissed you off.
To think that that's all I needed to make in the first place, just a whole lot of nothing, and you would have been happy. Well, hey, you still need a little something to do. Am I right? Here, let me load up another map. See if there's something in here that'll keep you occupied. Here's one.
How about
Let's
Portal?
boot this up. We'll see if you like it.
Uh-oh. Oh, hello, loading screen. Hello, train? Train station.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? I don't know why it would be. This map wasn't even made for you. At least I created a world specifically with you in mind. I wanted to make you a leading man. This one, well, I'm afraid you're on your own there.
Huh. Am I gonna get killed? As long as there's no monsters. Can I go through here? No? Maybe? Yes. This place makes me nervous.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got his job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That, or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yeah, well, you have a stupid voice. So, take that. Stupid voice man. Where am I? What? I'm confused. So, there's blood on the floor. What? So, here's the thing. And
Hold up, Oswald.
oh my god.
I spent so long talking about you. Why don't we just take a break from that and talk about something else for a change?
Okay, that scared the crap out of me.
Let's see. Well, according to Wikipedia, more than 90% of the night sharks caught off northeastern Brazil contain mercury concentrations higher than that considered safe by the local government.
Oh.
Now, this is fascinating. Don't you want to know more about the night sharks? Oh, no, of course not. All you want to hear about is yourself, isn't it? Well, fine. You haven't listened to me once so far. I can't expect you to turn that around now, can I?
Right. So, this is,
Is this
ouch.
the end of the line? I don't suppose this was a particularly fulfilling experience for you, considering not a single art aspect in this map was created with you in mind.
Huh.
But hey, you're a creative kid. I bet you can come up with a story about this place and why you're in it. And while you're doing that, why don't you think up an ending too? Because you certainly won't find one here. I'm afraid that's the long and short of it. This room and these walls are all you get.
Huh.
Maybe the story ends when you decide you can't live in this futuristic science fiction dystopia world, and you gallantly commit suicide. Or maybe you stand in this spot for all of eternity to guide and greet other travelers like yourself who pass this way. Or maybe you just get bored and you quit the game. Heck, anything's an ending if that's where you stop playing. But whatever ending you write for yourself, Stanley, you won't have my help. You turned your back on me, and now I do the same to you. So, good luck. I think you'll need it. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Well, I broke the game. Nope, can't go in there. Yeah, so, well, go me. Okay, so, this time, we're going to actually listen to this guy. Because apparently, defying the narrator doesn't really get us very far.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, listen to what you say this time, dude. And the music stopped. There's a heater. And, oh, here we go.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Okay. Ooh, it's a diagram of something in Popular Scientist magazine. And, Wheatley? Maybe? I can't tell. Oh, there's nothing really to look at here.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, alright.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office.
Oh, look!
Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret.
Ooh.
And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college. 1957.
Ooh.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, I can't. Ha 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 ha.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passageway.
Ooh, this is...
As he drew deeper into the bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find...
Yeah. Damn it. Okay.
rows and rows of monitors.
Huh.
Screens with a number above it. Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers. Even his own number, 427, had a place on the wall. But why a setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
Hello. Ultimate truth. Of truthiness.
An enormous control panel, Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating, doing work, or watching TV.
Okay.
Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine had altered his emotions to accept it blindly? He began to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger, something happened. A spark.
Oh.
Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
This is kind of creepy. Really, the only thing keeping me from being terrified out of my wits is that this guy has an awesome voice.
The higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
Like, seriously, if this guy started one of his sentences with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think I would be, content with my life. Well, we're gonna push the button. Disable the generator. Because that seems like the right thing to do. Oh.
Blackness.
Yeah.
Power gone. All alone.
Yeah.
And then... As he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role. Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But it didn't upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before. Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Hey, wait a second.
No more bosses, no more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself.
I see what you did there, game.
And he stepped out into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
Well then. So that was the Stanley Parable, and actually that was only a few of the endings. I have played through the whole thing, but I'm probably not going to actually put all the endings in here, because it's a very interesting experience, and I very strongly recommend actually going and finding it. The mod is completely free. You don't need Half-Life 2 to actually run it. You do need the Valve source thing, but that's free also. So yeah, so you saw what I did there and where that led. There's actually 6 endings in total. Um, but yeah, very interesting game. I do recommend, playing through it just for the experience of experiencing it. The other cool thing is that they are currently attempting to put a remake of this game, a full on remake similar to the treatment Dear Esther got, out through Steam Greenlight, which I'm going to include the link there. So if you thought this was cool and would like to see it, even fancier and probably with different things in it, which I think would be interesting, then go click on the link and go vote it up on Steam Greenlight so that we can see it happen. Anyways, that's all for today, and yeah, I'll be back at some point soon with something or other. Hopefully Pony Fantasy 6, but, maybe something else. We'll see. Anyways, have fun, guys. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to keep playing this. I'm getting kind of unnerved by this damn thing, and I don't know if it's supposed to. This seems like a running theme here, where I'm picking up games that I don't really know what the hell they are, and then I start playing them, and then I'm probably not going to sleep all tonight, which is not a good thing. Okay, we're just going to keep going.
Bad at listening as him, and since he was walking into the middle of nowhere and thus ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself. So when he came to the elevator and the doors opened, he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
Wait, punish... Well, going down's not going to do me any good. Well, I guess it could, but, I'm nervous now. Where am I going? So, what's up here? Okay, let's see here.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay, well, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, okay. 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, I have to get tricky here. 1, 1, 1, 3. 1, 1, 1.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the keypad was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 1, 9, 5, 7.
7. 1, 1, 1, 8. 1, 1, 1, 9.
1, 9,
1,
5,
1, 1,
7.
0. Well, we'll get it eventually. 1, 2, 1, 1. Ha ha ha. Huh? 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 3. 5, 5, 2, 8, 4. How about 3, 6, 9, 1. 0, 7, 5, 4. 1, 9, 5, 7.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Imagine that. Stumpy, 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 letter.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself.
Not in the
and
slightest.
Constantly needed support and guidance from others.
Every second.
So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Scary.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Which is the opposite of right. Stumpy, 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 stumpy. Red. Green. Red. Green. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Do 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 do. Nothing can go wrong here. Do do This is the credits. These are the credits. Thank you for playing this video game. And back to here.